Hey guys, this is Jason, JC316. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to install a dash cap on the 4th Gen F bodies. I think this is 93 to 02 Z28 Trans Am, Firebird, Camaro, whatever. They're real bad about having the dashes cracked. And you can see mine is all busted up. You can buy these dash caps. They're quite a bit cheaper than the dash pads themselves, and they just fit right over the top of it. It's going to be my first time doing this particular job, so you may have to bear with me. Alright, the first thing we're going to have to do is take the A-pillars off, the pillar trim off. I'm not sure how this goes on a non-T-top car, but on the T-top car you need to take it off, and there'll be 2 screws here. I'm sure on the non-T-top they're inside like a regular car. And there's 2 Phillip head screws. Use the old cup holder as a screw holder. I think this is also how you get to the T-tops to adjust them, so. Okay, once those screws are out, it should just pull off. But you want to be real careful with it. Yeah. And that gives you access, and yeah, there's the T-top adjustment point. And all that. Now let's walk over and do this side as well. It should give us the room we need to work. And sorry, there's no real way of using a tripod, so might be a little shaky. And same story, just pop it loose. I'll be right back as soon as I pop it loose. Alright, we're back. I got the pillar trims off. Now we need to do a test fitment. So with those out of the way, we should be able to slip the dash cap up onto the dash. Let me set this down. You want to try to angle it in on the driver's side first, get it in place, and then work it in on the passenger side. And this is probably going to take 2 hands, but it's real flexible, so I think I'll be able to position it into place past the pillars. So as soon as I get this in position, I'll be right back. Yeah, it's actually really easy with 2 hands. You just work it a little bit and it'll slide right in. And as you can see, it fits pretty good. There may be some high spots in the middle. In fact, there are some high spots in the middle, and we're going to have to trim those or sand them down to where they'll lay flat. But the test fitment thus far is pretty good. So, okay. Alright, now I'm going to pull this back out. I'm going to get some tools, sandpaper and a razor blade. I'm going to see about trimming the pieces to make it lay flat. So I'll be right back. And I'm back. Okay. Now, the instructions for this are actually really far from clear on what you're supposed to do. They say if there are cracks in the dash, which in my case there clearly are, you're supposed to trim the high spots or sand them down. Now, that's going to be a lot of damn sanding if you're going to try to sand, so we're going to do the razor blade trim. And they really don't tell you what your end goal is. Now, I'm going to take a swag at this and say that what they want is for it to lay flat. Now, like right here, I can't get it to lay flat because there's ridges here from where the dash is expanded. Same story here. I'm gonna guess that what they want you to do is trim the edges off and make it lay flat. Because you can't take the dash out because it has to have something to stick to. And they're saying you don't want high spots. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get a razor knife in here and trim right along this edge and make this lay flat. I'm just using a standard issue adjustable utility knife. These things are sharp, don't hurt yourself. Last thing you want is to lose a finger. Now, the proximity of the windshield to the dash is pretty damn close. So I'm going to do this as best as I possibly can. Worst comes to worst, I'll just leave the ridges in there. It'll look better than it did. But I'm going to try to do this right. I'm going to need both hands to do this, so I'm just going to have to... Well, let me see if I can set y'all up, maybe. Let me see if I can do it one-handed. So, and you can see how brittle my dash is. I'm gonna come back with a vacuum and suck all this stuff up. But now it'll lay flat. So I'm guessing that's what they want done on all of that, is just to make it lay flat. I'm guessing for adhesive purposes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with the rest of this stuff here and get a vacuum over here and siphon up all of that, and we'll be back with the next step. Okay, and we're back. My dash is so brittle that I don't know if I'm making it worse or not, but I didn't even need the razor blade for half of it. It just cracked. I think I've got it to where what they want. It'll lay down flat pretty much everywhere with pressure's applied to it. Now the next thing they say to do is lightly sand the dash with a small grit sandpaper, essentially. Again, their instructions ain't exactly clear on this, so I'm going with just a 180 grit. I mean, it's kind of coarse, but it's not really. I know what the point of it is. It's to make the adhesive stick better. But yeah, they're saying to go ahead and sand the top layer of your dash down. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my 180 grit out and just tear a piece off about yay big. And since it's going to be near the edges, the main thing you're going to want to do is get near the edges with your sandpaper. You don't really have to worry so much about the middle of the dash, and you don't really have to go crazy with it. Just get it roughed up enough for the adhesive to grab, and I would say especially around the cracks. Getting to the back of the windshield is gonna be tough, to say the least. I'm gonna switch sides real quick. Ah! Okay, so now that that's done, what do the instructions say now? We're going to also lightly undersand the underside of the new dash top, but we'll get to that in just a second. Or dash cap, I should say. Alright, next, they're saying to use an ammonia type cleaner on the top of this and the new dash cap. So, got some glass cleaner with ammonia. Give the dash a good spritzing. And just clean it off. Again, this is mostly for adhesive purposes. Any armor all or anything like that up here might cause it not to stick. And you want to really focus around your vents and stuff like that. I mean, you can see how dirty it is. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off the rest of the way, and then I'll return with the new part of it. Okay, we're back, and we're looking at the underside of the new dash cap. So it said to just scuff it up. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I might have to use both hands for this, but I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. I'm going to scuff it up, and I'm going to use the ammonia-based cleaner and wipe it off. And then we should be ready for the sticking process of this. So I will be right back, and we'll continue. Okay, and we're back. So the underside of the dash cap is prepped. They say to do another test fitment just to make sure everything's solid. I've done this, mine is right. So now we're going on to the adhesive part of this. Excess cleaner. They say to use the silicone to put it in a cup of warm water to help it flow better. This is Texas, where even in the winter it's summer. So that should be okay. I'm gonna have to lay down a bead. Basically, they say no, don't get closer than a ½ inch to the edges. So we're gonna pay attention to all the edges, and especially pay attention around this. So we're kind of gonna follow right along there and put it down. They say it needs to be about the width of a pencil. Less adhesive is always better. So I'm gonna need both hands to do this, but I'm gonna lay the adhesive on, and I'll be right back with it, and I'll show you what it's supposed to look like, and then we'll stick the sucker on. Be right back. Alright, and we're back. This looks essentially like just standard issue RTV for gaskets, but all that. So it's around the edges. They say do not put it in the middle because it needs to be able to flex with hot and cold temperatures. And the reason for it being a ½ inch from the edge is because the stuff spreads out whenever you press down on it, and they don't want it gooping all over your car. So next thing we're going to do is move this inside and slip it on there. It's going to be fun not getting the silicone all over me and the car in the process. So let me see if I can get you all in a spot perhaps where you can see what I'm doing. I can still have both hands. Alright, let's hope that works. Alrighty. Okay, now all of it's in there, and you're going to want to press down on the edges. Now you're going to want to use something heavy to hold this down. I've got some metal plates I'm going to use, but pay particular attention to these pieces here. You want this to really be down the center area. So we're going to set that down. I'll get these metal plates. They say you can use cardboard or whatever the hell you want. I underestimated how many metal plates I'm going to need. Okay, you can see I got the metal plates down holding it. I'm going to take some cardboard wedges and jam them up under the windshield to hold the front edge down. Just fold the cardboard to where it's thick enough and wedge it in. Various strategic spots on switch sides. You can hear my old dash cracking and flexing under the pressure. Okay, so yeah, I've got just the weighted metal plates, which I need a little more on this corner, but whenever you place the pillar back on, it should help hold it down. Yeah, I'll get a little more weight up there, but that's the general idea. Now we're going to have to wait, I think, 2 to 4 hours for the adhesive to dry properly, and then we can take the weights off and hopefully we'll be good. I'll return then. So yeah, I went and got the harbor plates from my shop press, and they provide a lot of weight for the trouble areas. I don't know if you can really see through the glass, but that's with it held down. I just got the stuff kind of strategically placed up around the glass, the cardboard, to hold it down. Now it's just, I guess, a waiting game. We'll make sure everything is down and we'll take the weights off. I'll be back in 2 to 4 hours. So yeah, it's been about 3 hours and I've taken all the weights off and it seems to be stuck down. Here's the final result. It's dark out, so I'm not sure how well this will show up. But yeah, just put the A-pillar trim back on. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope it helped.